Welcome to the Day Clean Devotion Queen podcast. Each week, our podcast episodes breathe life into selected themes from the DDQ Meditation Journal. Hosted by our founder, Najma Thomas, we engage in heartfelt discussions with a diverse roster of inspirational Queen sisters. We explore their unique perspectives, uncover the wisdoms shaped by their journeys, and celebrate the trials and victories along the way. Together, we are creating a woe manifestation space where conversation meets examination and sparks transformation. So if you've been with me for a while, if you've been rocking with the DDQ podcast for a while, then you know the drill. You know that this podcast was created as a way to extend the Day Clean Devotion Queen Journal project. And that is a womanist 365-day devotion and meditation tool to help really reflect on our life, to build ongoing wisdom, to heap adoration upon ourselves and our beloved Queen sisters. It helps us to stay grounded in our purpose and our divine power. That's a whole lot for one project to do, but we're capable. So, and for those of you who have a journal, hopefully you have been on this journey since January. You've been reading and journaling and really benefiting from this project. I hope that you have. So I think it was May, after hosting a weekly podcast episode every week since January, I decided, it's time for a break. So I took a little hiatus, took some time off for the summer, had a summer of romance books, that is, romance novels. Queen Sis JC, if you are listening, you know what I'm talking about. For those of you who read the July newsletter, you know what I'm talking about. I got into all kinds of wonderful romance books. But now I'm back. I had a wonderful time to just reflect, to revisit the early episodes of the DDQ podcast, to reflect on some of the lessons learned, and to re-envision a new approach. And now it's time for the relaunch. So here we are. We've got a new rhythm. We've got a new method. This is really, I think, going to allow us to go deeper, not wider. We're not trying to do too much, y'all. What the young folks say, like, don't be trying to do the most. We're not trying to do the most. We want to be intentional. And that's what the project is about. And so, of course, that's what the podcast that's the approach that the podcast should take, intentionality. So I've redesigned the approach to present podcast episodes in a quarterly schedule. So that means, the standard U.S. calendar quarter. I know that there are many other calendars out there that we respect and we are learning together. But on the U.S. calendar, we go by quarters, of course. And so Q1 is January, February, March, etc., etc. And what I'm going to do is every other week, we will have a featured guest, an amazing, dynamic, inspirational Queen sister to come in to the podcast space. Right now, I'm recording from the Sistar Retreat here at the Shiny Road Estates, my beloved Sistar Retreat. Hopefully we'll have some guests here. Sometimes we'll have them on Zoom, but either way, it won't be every week. It'll be every other week. And the conversations, the topics will all be aligned with a particular theme for the quarter. And in between those featured guests, I'll do a short solo episode. and talk about related topics. So, the guest presentations, the guest speakers, the special guest speakers those episodes will last about 45 minutes, give or take. I know some of our episodes earlier went a little long because, we have a lot to talk about, but I really am going to try to keep it to under 45 minutes so that it is consumable, and maybe you can do it on a walk or your lunch break or after your morning, your day clean, after your day clean ritual, whatever floats your boat, Queen Sis, get it in. The shorter episodes, the solo, me and you and the world, those will be about 10 to 15 minutes long. And today is an example, right? I'll just focus on a particular topic, share some updates with you, engage on some of the questions that come in through our social media channels, etc. So the goal is to stay connected, to stay in tune, not be burned out, to really focus on stimulating, but not being overstimulated. So it's all about, yes, to consistency. We want to all the time be thinking about our purpose. Got that vision in front of our third eye, and thinking about ways that we can amplify and advance and move closer to our divine purpose. And also to use the tools that we have available to help us meet, our daily, our weekly, our monthly objectives. But so it's yes to consistency, and it's yes to dedication, but it is no to hustle. It is no to grinding. It is no to just creating content just to be delivering content. Okay, so taking our time and really giving you something that I think can add value to the work you're already doing. So here we are. This is still quarter 3. We're closing out July already, y'all. Just take a minute to consider that. We are closing out July 2025 already. Whew. I know we have the days. If I didn't journal every day, I would swear that some of my days have gone missing, but they haven't, because I have the evidence in my journal. So I know I had those days, but my goodness, didn't they fly by? What did the old saints say? The days are long, but the years are short. I'm starting to feel that. So anyway, Q3, we're on quarter 3. And so what's the theme for Q3? Creativity. This quarter, we're really going to be unpacking the concept of creativity. We're going to be embracing and exploring the concept of birthing visions and cultivating soul work. We're going to be thinking about using creativity as a protective factor for our own well-being, and seeing creativity as a tool to resist these exploitive labor expectations, right? More on that later. We'll even look at some of the political aspects of creativity, but not too much, because really, y'all, the way the political landscape is set up right now, we need a safe space. We need a debriefing space where we can just not have to consider some of those things. So not too much politics. But here is a preview. Here is what you can expect in terms of our featured guests for Q3. We're going to have a screenwriter and Reiki master to tell us all about how she tells her stories. We're going to have an internationally beloved herb farmer plant seeds of stewardship and self-sufficiency. We're going to bring you a specialty boutique owner who brings her own creative touch to Main Street on her own terms. And there will be many more. If you're thinking, oh my goodness, I would be a great, featured guest for the DDQ podcast. This month's theme resonates with me. I've got something I want to share. Please nominate yourself or someone else that you think would be a benefit, bring some spice, bring some wisdom, bring some creative spark to our DDQ community, just send us an email at hello@mydayclean.com. Okay, and you can check the notes in the podcast episode for all of the links, more information about how to get in touch with us. So here are some of my planned topics for my solo episodes. So those will be much shorter, 10, 15 minutes max. So I'm going to talk about purpose as sacred creation. I'm going to talk about soul work versus hustle work, stories as seeds, and a season preview for quarter 4. As you listen to each weekly episode, I want to encourage you to feel free to start or engage in a conversation on our social media platforms. We've got a couple of ways you can get engaged and stay engaged and expand the conversation outside of the podcast. So I'll talk to you about 4 of those ways that I encourage the DD community to get engaged. First up, the Daily DDQ. So this is our blog. That's where I do a quick reflection on the day's meditation topic every day. I've done it every day since January 1. I'm so proud to say that. And I have a goal of posting on the Daily DDQ every day throughout the rest of the year. So y'all come with me on this journey and keep me honest. How do you get there? Just go to mydayclean.com, click on the Daily DDQ. You can read the daily post, but you can also, and this is much more important, comment, share, talk about maybe what you think about that day's theme. If it's resonating with you for a particular reason, maybe you want to share something that happened the day before, add to the conversation on the Daily DDQ. Also, Instagram, we are on IG at Day Clean Devotion Queen, and we don't post every day, y'all. We don't even post every other day on IG, but when we do, we make sure we try to make sure that it is valuable content, it's something relevant or something encouraging, something inspirational, informative, you know, the drill. So like us, follow us on IG at Day Clean Devotion Queen. And obviously, if you're listening, you found our podcast, but I do want to share that we are also on YouTube. So if you're listening to the podcast, but you didn't know we have the video episodes available as well, here's your cue. Head on over to YouTube and look us up. Again, Day Clean Devotion Queen. That's our YouTube channel. And then finally, this is one of my new favorites, Substack. Y'all, if you're not familiar with Substack, get into it. This is, I think, a long form posting platform. It's really designed for writers and related creatives. I get all kinds of good information on Substack. I joined it because if you've been following this podcast, you know that womanist theologians are so important to me. I'm on a journey this year, really trying to dive deeper into womanist theology. And the Reverend Dr. Renita Weems is on Substack, dropping gems periodically, Sundays and beyond. And so I had to subscribe to her Substack, and I found that it is a really useful way for me to share the newsletter with the DDQ community. So that's how I share periodic posts, definitely the monthly newsletter and some other things. So 4 ways: Daily DDQ, Instagram, YouTube, and Substack. Okay, so that's all for now. That's enough, isn't it? Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to this podcast episode. Thank you so much for tuning back in to our regular listeners, and welcome to our new podcast audience. This is going to be a fantastic season. I'm looking forward to it, and I hope that you will engage and share with us. Wishing you an incredible remainder of your week. I hope that it is everything you need it to be. Thanks so much, Queen Sis. Be well.